ability to read. Prepare to be hoisted upon your own petard. You know, there's a lot of things that make me geek, and I wasn't always comfortable with it like I am today. And I had to, in my teenage years, find places where my fellow geeks gathered, where the things that made us uncool in the real world didn't seem to matter, and actually kind of brought us all together. One of those places I didn't discover until I was 16 years old, but it was at Saturday night midnight screenings of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I am going to tell you a story about the very first time I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show, provided I could find it within the pages of my book. Now, as a matter of fact, it was not at the Nuys, but thank you for jumping ahead of the story, sir. In order to make this truly magnificent, I have requested musical accompaniment. Musical accompaniment from my good friends, Mr. Paul and Mr. Storm. Very well rehearsed. So this is from the special edition of my book, The Happiest Days of Our Lives, available from Subterranean Press, plug commerce. My son's college tuition thanks you for your support. And it is called When You Dressed Up Sharp and You Felt All Right. The story actually started out as a one-paragraph introduction to a rant about how much I didn't want MTV to remake the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But after a few minutes in my text editor, it became a lot more fun just to tell this story. A few days after my 16th birthday, I lost my Rocky Horror virginity at a shitty little duplex theater in Van Nuys, California. Some of you may have thought it was at the Nuys. Turns out you're wrong. I had wanted to see Rocky since I was 10 or 11, and my mom drove us past a marquee advertising a midnight showing every Saturday. Now, my parents couldn't or wouldn't, my memory taking me in that specific detail, tell me what it was about. But anything that happened at midnight on a Saturday sounded great to me. The creepy lettering and the word horror in the title only served to increase my anticipation. I love you all. A week or so after my birthday, my best friend Darren and I went to a place on Van Nuys Boulevard called Cafe 50s. These 1950s themed cafes were everywhere in the 80s. They were nearly as ubiquitous as frozen yogurt shops. Some people blame Stand By Me and Back to the Future for their popularity. But this particular 50s cafe was my favorite. Though I'd never actually been to a diner in the 50s, this one felt the most authentic, which means that it copied what I'd seen in movies better than anywhere else. It had Del Shannon's Runaway on the jukebox. And I wonder ourselves on patty melts and chocolate shakes and vanilla cokes and extra fries with ranch dressing, while we talked about all those things that seem important after you discovered girls, like, you know, how to talk to them. Instantly convincing her to take an unforgettable trip with you to second base for 60 16 seconds of commitment-free passion. We argued about the time travel paradoxes in Back to the Future. We confirmed through empirical evidence that quoting Monty Python to a 24-year-old waitress is not the best way to get a stand-up double when you're 16. Or ever. We admitted that Michael Keaton was a far better Batman than we had been prepared to give him credit for. Oh, hindsight, how do you make Michael Keaton look so good? In other words, it was a Saturday night like any other. And as midnight and the restaurant's closing drew near, our attention turned toward the most important of teenage activities, doing anything but going home. Darren asked me, have you ever seen Rocky? Oh, God, I hate that stupid movie, I said. And the sequels are even worse. It's like, okay, we know he's gonna win, so why did we even come out and watch this stupid thing? No! I mean Rocky Horror, he said. Oh. I said, no. But I've always wanted to. It's playing across the street at midnight, he said. We should go. As quickly as I got excited to see it, I lost my nerve. Is he the pre-Snopes grapevine that gave teens of my generation the truth about Mikey from Life cereal? Oh my God, they totally died because they ate Pop Rocks and drank Coke. I heard about rocky virgins being deflowered in horrifying ways. This guy I know went to see it in Santa Monica at the Nuys, and they totally made him take off all his clothes, and they wrote virgin on his chest in lipstick. I looked across the table at Derek, and I said in my most nonchalant voice, don't they do horrible things to people who haven't seen it before? Not really, he said. But, you know, if you're worried about it, we won't say anything. All right. Well, okay, I said. My confidence and excitement returned. Aaron was 18, 2 years older than me. He was wise in the ways of the world. I knew that I could count on him to keep my secret shame clean. The waitress came back by our table. Can I get you guys anything else? Before I could demand a shrubbery and a phone number, with equal chances of receiving either, Darren asked her, could we get some slightly burnt white toast? The waitress and I gave him the same curious look. He smiled back.